would like to present JoJo Rabbit.
Upset here now, Books Unplugged. Books Unplugged. Adaptation for your delectation. Now Books Unplugged. Here with Ed and Dan. Books Unplugged. Page to screen and in between. Books Unplugged. Which would you destroy?
Good. Looking good. Looking handsome.
Yeah.
Like that tie.
I wore it for my Fermilab job interview that I did not get.
Oh, wow. Good choice, I guess. Bad choice? I don't know.
Maybe that's why you did.
Like a guy with a stupid tie. Hi. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Ed.
I'm Dan.
Welcome to Books Unplugged, the show where we discuss books that had movies made from them, and we talk about both of those things. Today, we're going to be discussing the movie JoJo Rabbit, which is based on the book
Caged Skies.
Caged Skies. Caged Skies. So, in JoJo Rabbit, or both, the story is basically of a young man, a young Nazi, a bit misguided, who discovers a young girl in his parents' house, a young Jewish girl that's being hidden, and he is conflicted as he falls in love with her, and conflicted as the war ends, not knowing whether he should tell her or not.
Books Unplugged. Adaptation for your delectation. Now,
Dan, what is your favorite, just the best thing about either one, the movie or the book? Just what's the best? What's your major love?
My major love about the book.
Okay.
Because I'll just start off. Both are very different. So my major love about the book is that it made me hate Nazis more than I thought I could hate Nazis. Like I already hated Nazis, and then I read Caged Skies, and I was like, you know what? I hate Nazis a little bit more now. Because as more as like older Nazis. Now I hate youth Nazis too.
Yeah. No. Well, that's for me. I'm gonna just go with the movie, and I just think it's kind of wonderful that this director, writers, all the whole team took that book and made it funny.
That is,
I mean,
like
that book
amazing.
is.
It was like how they made it a dark comedy.
That book is not a comedy. No. Not even. I mean, really, it's surprising. You start reading and you're like, okay, this is a little more serious. And you get deeper and you're like, oh, this is not. I mean, it's just like just the idea alone. I love just the idea. Let's make this hilarious, funny. I mean, great. It really wonderful and interesting and challenging and ambitious and.
That's very close to what I loved. My major love about the movie too was the imaginary Hitler.
Yeah.
I think that just got you to share what the kid was thinking and everything like that, and it added that level of comedy to it.
Yeah, because it makes a fool of him. It makes him silly, makes him like supporting this kid. And it shows the kid's imagination and how he's childlike. I thought that was good.
I had some major hates.
Oh, major hates. Oh, yeah.
I know. I have
that.
minor hates too and loves, but I had some major hates.
Okay, let's talk about some major hates.
Right off the bat, major hate of Johannes, which is, I'm not going to call him JoJo because he's not JoJo in the book.
No, he's definitely not. He's Johannes.
It's Johannes. He never seems to denounce the Nazis or what he's taught throughout the whole story. It's just like never. Even when she's like saying, "Oh, like this is wrong," and that's, he's like, "Okay," but he's never like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, he sucks. He sucks. Major hate about the book.
He's totally convinced. And then also, I'm totally convinced that Johannes grew up to be that dude in Boxing Helena. In that movie, Boxing Helena.
I never saw the movie.
In Boxing Helena, this weird Aryan-looking guy falls in love with this girl, right? But she doesn't really love him. And then she gets into a car accident. He's a doctor. He cuts off her legs and arms and literally keeps her in a box.
Oh, yeah, that's Johannes. That's exactly what Johannes would do.
I think he grew up, went to America.
And became Helena Boxer.
Yeah, Helena Boxer.
Books Books, the boing, book and the boing, and books, the boing.
Let's go into our minor loves and hates.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna need a speed round on this.
A time, a clock, or yeah, it's gonna go on for a minute.
Let's put a clock down over there. I loved the opening of the movie with the split between using the Beatles song and all the Nazi fanaticism and everything. I thought that was brilliant. It just set the tone for the rest of the movie being this dark comedy.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. That was great. That was great. I loved the two idiots. It was Sam Rockwell and what was the other guy? I can never think of the other
his
guy's
partner.
name. Yeah, I thought they
Yeah.
were just. I thought that was just.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Great additions.
yeah,
To the.
yeah, they're not. I
they're
mean,
not in the book.
not exactly. I mean, there's officers and stuff, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not. It's
but,
totally
yeah.
different, you know. And I thought they were great.
I had a love-hate moment from the book when the parents, Johannes's parents, realized they have to start being careful of what they say around them. I mean, there's
Around
so
their
many
Nazi
parts.
son.
So many parts of that book just made me so anxious.
That kid sucks.
I'm just
so
like,
bad.
oh my god! And it's like I felt so bad for the mom and the.
You know, in the book, and it irritated me that I couldn't really. I mean, maybe it was because I watched the movie first or whatever, but I couldn't tell whether he was 12 or whether he was 20.
I hated that Elsa did not kill JoJo in the book and/or movie when she had the chance. She should have done it. Like, there's a point in the book where she had a chance to do it, and there was also a point in the movie, and
Yeah,
she should have just killed that fucking kid.
Yeah, that kid could have died, but it would have made for the book wouldn't have been quite as good, and the movie if you just killed him in the middle.
Yeah.
I get. So there's one section in the book, and I wrote down specifically. So it's they have definitions of love, and this is after the war is over, and he's keeping her in a box, and they have this definition of love, and they're both the definitions are about sacrifice. Hers is about like self-sacrifice, and that's what love is like sacrificing all of yourself. And his talks about the sacrifice of the truth for love, which is like, yeah, it's very fitting and it's really well done. I mean,
Every thought process this kid
he's
has is
horrible.
just wrong, just so wrong.
Books, I need them unplugged, baby. Books, I need them unplugged now.
purpose.
Was it in the book, JoJo blowing himself up? You know,
yeah,
he's running with the
it's
thing.
different. It's there, but it's different.
Yeah, I mean, he gets blown up in
yeah,
air raid, like face disfigured.
Face
I
disfigured.
think he's lost it. Basically can't use one arm.
No, he loses it.
Yeah.
He loses. He's left-handed.
Oh,
and he
that's
loses,
right, that's
he's
right, it's like
left-handed and he
cut off,
loses
yeah.
his left arm. So yeah, it's not as funny. It's not as charming.
Yeah. JoJo would not look cute with the massive. scar.
The camp was the youth Nazi camp in the book.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That-
It was.
that
It's
was
different,
it.
but it's pretty much. I mean, it doesn't have all the colorful characters, but it does have a bunch of Nazi children being trained. How about this is a trick kind of. Pimichin warming her hands on burning houses and then pretending she's praying. Pimichin warming her hands, pretending she's praying.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Is it in the movie?
Oh, it was in the movie. I don't remember. I don't think so.
Is Pimichin in the movie?
No, she's not. That's the grandmother.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Pimichin.
Yeah, she's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. Why did they not have the?
I
grandmother?
like. She's
Yeah.
like. She's the only. For me, that book has one kind of redeeming character, and that's Pimichin. She's
Yeah.
pretty great.
I mean, and also like the mother. I thought the mother was a better character in the book than the mother in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, like, I agree with
I mean,
that.
there's just so much angst and like.
Also, the scene where she's dead is much more effective in the movie, though.
Oh yeah. It's
you know,
somewhat similar in the book, but the way they went about it in the movie was just brilliant. What were they thinking?
What were they thinking is where we give you a clip, actually, a Xeroxed sheet of paper.
Got some youth Nazis here.
Some youth Nazis. So we're going to discuss. We're going to go through what is this? What Johannes?
This is what Johannes is thinking about the older youth Nazis. So here, these are the ones that are older. They're the teenager ones. He is still young.
Yep.
And this is a little bit of what he's thinking about them.
What's more, the older boys plagued the younger ones and made them clean their shoes or tend to their groins. No one liked to do it, but they beat you up if you didn't. Sometimes one of the boys told on them and they got into trouble, since no form of homosexuality, however slight, was to be tolerated in Adolf Hitler's regime. But tattling was answered with getting even with fresh tattling, a threat with a bigger threat. It never ended. When we went to collect money and items for the poor in Winterhilfe, from October to March, some boys pocketed the money and used it for women. What would you need women for if you have little boys to tend to your groin, Dan?
I would not know. I'm not a
Not a homosexual Nazi?
not a homosexual Nazi.
You know, you've been telling me that for years, and I still don't believe it. I still, right when I met you, I thought that, you know, he's nice for a homosexual Nazi. Anyway, so
should have been there.
Yeah, should have been there, man.
Do you have a should have been there?
I do. His arm should have been blown off, and his face should have been scarred. He was way too cute. I think it would have been even better if he was like. All of it makes more sense. That kid was too cute. The chubby little Johannes cheeks, and I think the explosion, had it been more Mo Bigga, I think it would have been cooler. But that's just me.
My should have been there is the timeline should have matched the book. They should have had Johannes get older, you know, along with the girl living in that. Because, I mean, she's basically living in a cubby for like 5-7 years. Like she's under the floorboard and all that, you know.
I don't think it would be funny, though.
Oh, no, it would not have been a funny movie. No.
Yeah.
Gus Van Sant could have made it a pretty good movie, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's
know, or
just
something
so
like that.
wildly different. I mean, really so wildly different. Like, shockingly different.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to express.
Yeah. I had a very visceral experience to reading this book versus the movie. I mean,
Well, the movie, you're really looking forward to the book.
Yeah.
I really was looking forward to the book.
Yeah.
Like, watched the movie first.
And then the moment I got halfway through and the war is over and she's still in the cubby. And
Okay, let's briefly discuss. This isn't one of our normal bits, but let's briefly discuss. He gets worse. It's not just that he keeps her under the floorboards and feeds her gruel.
Yeah.
He also starts to hate her.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks she's disgusting. Like he grows with hatred as he's trapped and has her trapped. I mean, it's horrible.
Bookity Books Unplugged.
You got a best bit in the movie?
Best part of the book I've got.
Okay, let's do it.
When Elsa and Johannes get in a fight, and she basically just like she's been kind of biting her tongue about like all the wrong stuff that he's been taught, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like a little bit later, so this is later in the book. So they're like, you know, 15. She's older, or he's like 15 or something like that. She's older, and she just rails on him, you know, about all the wrong things that, and he's just like, huh?
Yeah, the kids.
What?
Yeah.
You don't have demon ears?
You think you'd notice
Yeah.
that she doesn't have demon ears.
Uh-huh.
You look at her.
Oh, and also it's like, you know, all the other Jews are terrible except for her. She's the exception.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Yeah, because he's met all the Jews.
Yeah.
Yo.
How about you?
In the book, I liked his jealousy over Nathan. You know, I think it was cool. And then there's also another kind of thing where he finds out about Elsa, and his mother is hiding Elsa from him, but then he has to hide his knowledge of Elsa from his mother. So they're both kind of like hiding in their own house before his mother gets killed, of course.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. In the movie, you know, pretty much, you know, I like, and you know, don't take this out of context, but I like Hitler in the movie.
Oh, imaginary Hitler?
Yeah, I think imaginary Hitler is pretty great. I think most of the scenes with him, even when he gets rid of him, when he finally is kind of done with him, I just think that's all. I think it's funny. He's almost like reminds me of Bugs Bunny a little bit.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of he just kind of has this thing, and I just think he's just cartoonish and fun. And I mean, the movies that really makes the movie and it's just a completely invented character, which is cool.
Yeah. For the movie, for me, is as far as the best bit is the end when they step outside, and he's like looking at her, and he like snaps his finger, you know, or before he ties her shoe, and he snaps his finger. You know, it's like those great little movie tropes where it's like he couldn't snap his fingers before, he couldn't tie the shoes, you know, and then kind of hear that music, and you know, they're and he's able to do some whistling, And there's that one little moment where I'm just like, oh, come on, girl. You know, in a couple of years, this little cute little JoJo would be a total get.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Books Unplugged. Which would you destroy?
I think this answer is obvious.
Of which we would
which
destroy.
you would destroy, which I would destroy, even though I do think the book was very good. I mean, very effective. I mean, really, like, outstanding. I mean, it's not a feel good, and I really thought the movie was great. So I would destroy the book. I'm just gonna destroy it. I'm not gonna use any clever things.
I'll just.
I'm gonna burn it. I'm gonna burn it.
We're gonna burn that book.
Let's burn it with a big tin, get it signed by Hitler first, Indiana Jones style, and
Right.
into the burn barrel, because the movie's great. It's fun. It's fun to watch. I guess I was kind of split a little bit, because if you think about it, like, you kind of shouldn't be a feel good story about Nazis.
Right.
So in that, I mean, you're not going to feel good at the end of that book.
Yeah.
So
The one thing that the book does well is that it shows you that world of the youth Nazi.
and the mindset of a youth Nazi, and like how growing at like the weird dichotomy between like a young devout Nazi with two parents
because he grows, so it's not his. I mean, like JoJo Rabbit, you can be like, oh well, he's still only 10. He'd only been in the youth Nazi camp thing for like a year,
and he wasn't very good at it.
And he wasn't good at it either.
Yeah, he wasn't a good Nazi, so he had to create Hitler to support him.
Right, so you can forgive him. There's no way anyone is forgiving Johannes for anything that he does.
No, and he starts to suspect his parents and tries to. I mean, he's a Nazi the whole time, and the parents not. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, keep the movie because it's more fun, but it hurts me to say it because the book is pretty fantastic, really.
I would say if for those who did really like JoJo Rabbit, go check out Charlie Chaplin's The Great Dictator.
And if you're not going to watch that whole movie, YouTube the scene with the inflatable
ball
globe, the dance that Chaplin does with that inflatable globe dressed as Hitler.
Yeah.
They just don't make them like that anymore. Do that.
Yeah.
Ed and Dan would like to thank you for joining them on Books Unplugged, page to screen and all that's in between. If you like the vibe, please like and subscribe.
Like lazy and letting the boss walk over and stuff. He's like, come on.
Dabba-doo-babba-doo-ba.